Today, I just wanted to share with you some of the strategies that I practice on a regular basis to help me achieve my goal of living a happy and peaceful life. I'm going to talk about maybe 3 or 4 strategies. The first one really is practicing gratitude. Gratitude is just a quality of being thankful, and it's also our ability and our readiness to be appreciative of the things that have happened in our lives, of how far we've come, everything that we've accomplished. Gratitude is really focusing on the good in our lives and focusing less on the things that we're not able to change. Gratitude is really about taking a pause for a moment, just looking around us and being thankful for some of the things that we take for granted. For instance, just having a roof over our heads, being able to feed our families, having friends and family, being able to meet our basic needs. You find that if you're someone who practices gratitude, it's usually easier for you to deal with adversity. When adversity comes, the storms of life that comes at us from all angles, being able to focus on the things that are good in your life helps you to stay grounded and to stay centered. The second thing I'm going to talk about is don't sweat the small stuff. Now, what does this mean? It just means learning to let go of small issues. Growing up in Cameroon, I always used to hear of this expression, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's really just saying don't try to make something bigger than it's really supposed to be. Learn to let go of small issues. We tend to magnify little issues in our lives, turn them into a big problem, and then we start looking for solutions to them. You will find that if you don't focus too much on little things, you'll be someone who is less irritated by things that happen around you. There is a judge in America, in the Supreme Court. Her name is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I remember something that she said to a couple who asked her about what was the longevity, what is the secret to longevity in marriage, and she simply said, be deaf sometimes. I thought that statement was very profound. The way I understood it is just that sometimes you can just pretend like you didn't hear something. You don't have to take everything so seriously. Not everything is worth addressing. Not everything is, huge to the extent that you have to tackle it or start looking. Sometimes you can just let this stuff wash over you like throwing water on a duck's back. So if we tend to not focus so much on the little things and let them go, it helps to keep us peaceful. The third thing I want to talk about is to ask yourself this question: what is really important? We are living in very challenging times. We are facing this huge pandemic that nobody was thinking about in January of this year. I know what I was thinking about January of this year. I was thinking of my 50th birthday come November and what I was going to do and family I was going to have around and the fun we were all going to have. But sometimes things change, and during this change it helps us to really step back and try to ask ourselves what is really important. What do you really want to focus on? Are you really heading down the path that you want? Are you putting your energy towards the things that are important to you? I feel like now is the time. It really gives us an opportunity to just step back and ask ourselves that question. Everyone can answer that question for themselves and determine what you find important. And if you find the thing that you think is really important to you, the question is, are you putting your energy towards that? And if you're not, maybe now is the time to know that you want to make sure that you're putting your energy more towards the thing that is really important. I ask myself that question regularly just so that it helps me to put my priorities straight. And once I have my priorities straight, it kind of keeps me calm, and it gives me the peace that I'm looking for. The last and the fourth strategy I'm going to talk about is choose being happy over being right. In other words, don't be a right fighter. Let me give you a simple definition of who a right fighter is. So a right fighter is someone who gets overly emotional or angry when people don't agree with them and their opinions or beliefs. A right fighter is someone who insists on having the last word in an argument or refuses to back down no matter what. Maybe you are a right fighter, maybe you don't have any problem with it, maybe that's just how you want to live your life. But what I'm saying is, know that if you are choosing to be a right fighter, there is a price to pay. And the price you're paying is your peace and your happiness. That's what you're sacrificing in order to be right.